welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for today's video I shared with you this simple drugstore foundation routine that's going to keep your makeup on all day through the hot summer months and also through humid weather. It is also waterproof. I know that this foundation is going to last all day. I didn't mention, but for my eyeliner for today I am using this Benefit roller pen eyeliner. I recommend going with waterproof eye makeup during the summer because if you have allergies, your eyes tend to cry, or if you get sweaty, you want your eyeliner not to budge and smudge. This is my favorite eyeliner that I have found that's waterproof. It really keeps your eyeliner on. I have really bad allergies and my eyes tends to cry a lot in the summer, and my eyeliner, my wing stays nice and sharp. It will not go anywhere, so I highly recommend this for your eyes so you don't get raccoon eyes in the summertime. I highly recommend sticking with waterproof eyeliners, waterproof mascaras, anything like that to make sure that everything stays in place. For today I just shared my foundation routine to make sure that your makeup does not budge and stays in place through the hot summer months. Especially here in Houston, we tend to get super hot and humid. This is the look I go for, something simple on the eyes, but for my skin I like to make sure that I'm moisturized and primed and everything is set in place, and using a really good foundation that's going to last all day. I kept almost all the products drugstore, so it's easy for you guys to recreate the look and also achieve a long lasting makeup routine without having to break the bank. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So the first step in long wearing summer makeup is of course your face routine. Make sure that your skin is cleansed, moisturized, properly moisturized for your skin type. I have combination skin right now. My skin's a little bit more on the drier side, so I hydrate really well, which I've mentioned before, oil and CeraVe, since I am on the drier side of combination skin. But moisturize your skin and prime. These are my favorite primers that I know work really well for my skin, keep makeup on for my clients as well in this hot humid weather. The number one primer that I'm in love with right now is this Hangover RX from Too Faced. This is a nourishing primer and hydrating. Like I said, I am combination skin, but I'm also very dry in other parts of my face, and this does wonders. It makes my skin look super smooth and adheres makeup to my skin, makes the makeup last a long time. So if you're more on the drier side, this is a perfect primer for you. If you're also combination skin but you're a little bit on the oilier side, I would go with this NARS Pour and Shine. This is a great primer. It is a little bit more on the expensive side, but it keeps your makeup on. It keeps you from being too oily throughout the day, and it also is good to fill in pores. The next two are from Makeup Forever. This is the smoothing one and the mattifying. If you are really oily, I would go with the mattifying one in your T-zone. Most people are oily like in their nose, their forehead, and their chin area. I would go with this. I would not apply this all over my face as it can be super drying and it can make your foundation start to crack, and we do not want that. Overall good primer for all over the skin is the smoothing Makeup Forever. This makes your makeup last all day no matter the weather. And that's one thing that I would say, if you're a person that wants like a full face of makeup through the summer and humid weather, I would suggest on purchasing a really good primer. Don't go cheap on your primer. It will really make the difference. I'm going to give you one option for drugstore. This is my favorite drugstore foundation that is good for oily skin. It's really good for hot humid weather and oily skin is the Maybelline Super Stay. This foundation is not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay all day, but it is a little bit on the heavy side, so you are going to feel it. This is what I'm going to be using for today. I'm going to be using the shade 128 Warm Nude and the 118 Light Beige, because this by itself is a little too light, but this alone as well is a little too dark, so I like to mix. I'm going to be using a beauty blender. This is a Sonia Kashuk beauty blender, just so I don't have too much of a heavy feeling of foundation like I would get with a brush. A brush will give me better coverage, but it's just going to be really heavy on my skin and I don't want that. So I'm just going to go in with the foundation. I'll do 2 pumps of the Warm Nude and 1 pump of the Light Beige. And this foundation is mattifying and it dries down really fast, so I like to work in sections. But this foundation is currently my favorite for drugstore and oily skin, or if I need something for hot. If I need something that I'm gonna be outside, like I'm gonna be at a concert. I remember I used this foundation last year. I went to a concert outside at the Cynthia Woods Pavilion. I went to go see Logic, and I knew it was going to be hot. It was in July, and I knew I needed something that was gonna last all day and not budge. And I went with this foundation, and it made my skin look really good. It did not budge at all. And like I said, using a beauty blender really gives you a smooth finish and doesn't make you look cakey. And I feel like keeps the foundation feeling light on your skin because it does soak up a lot of product. Foundation gives you a full coverage. Like you can already see my skin, the difference. I have a lot of redness going on, and with this foundation, it just takes everything. It just basically blurs everything out. This beauty blender, this is the Sonia Kashuk one. It's really, really big. I feel like you finish your face routine really fast. So the coverage on the foundation is on. I really like the way it looks, and for my skin, this is giving me a matte coverage. As you can see, my skin looks very matte, and this is going to stay matte for the rest of the day. At this point, if you're a super oily person that tends to get oily really quickly, and set your foundation at this time, but since I'm not super oily right now, I'm not gonna do that. The two setting powders that I recommend are the Airspun and the Maybelline Fit Me powders. Today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit, but this is one of my favorites. I feel like it's very finely milled and really light. I'm using the color Fair Light. I'm just gonna keep it ready for whenever I'm going to set my concealer. Concealers, for something to last all day as well, I'm gonna give you two options, a drugstore and a high-end option. The high-end is obviously the Tarte Shape Tape. This is like everybody's holy grail. This concealer is super long lasting. It gives you so much coverage, but if you do have dry under eyes or are on the drier skin type, this is going to make, this can be a little too cakey under the eye, so I currently don't use the Tarte Shape Tape. The one I love is the Born This Way concealer. This is a nice hydrating one, good for combination skin, or if you tend to have a little bit more on the drier under eye area, I would go in with this one. This one gives you a nice good coverage and is also long lasting. Two concealers that I recommend from the drugstore is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Now this concealer though, it is super drying as well. I think it's even a little bit more matte than the Tarte Shape Tape. I personally am not in love with this concealer, but I know if you are super oily, this does work for you. I have fallen in love with is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. This reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape alone. This to me as well is also a little too drying for my under eyes, but I know it holds up really well in hot, humid weather and for oily skin. With my Born This Way Hydrating Concealer, mixing these two, and this has been giving me the perfect amount of coverage and also longevity for hot, humid weather. And this is in the shade Almond. This is in the shade Vanilla. So if you're around my skin tone, then these are the ones to go for if you like a bright under eye area. And I like to put a little bit right here. These concealers together have just been working wonders on my skin. It gives me the coverage that I need, but it doesn't over dry my under eyes. It is time to set. I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me. And I'm going to set the concealer. And I'm also going to set my nose because it tends to get really oily throughout the day. I'm gonna set my chin, my forehead. After a few minutes, you can just dust off the product. The Maybelline Fit Me really just smooths out your skin so beautifully. Honestly, it makes my under eyes look super smooth, as you can see on camera. The next step in my routine that's really important is a good powder for your skin to set the rest of your foundation. My favorites are the MAC Studio Fix powder and the Kat Von D Lock-It powder. I've talked about both of these powders before on my channel. I haven't found a drugstore powder that I absolutely love that really sets my foundation and makes sure it doesn't budge. These two I recommend over and over again. This one I have been loving the most. This one is the one I like to use on my clients just because it gives you an extra amount of coverage because it is a powder foundation. And with my Kat Von D powder and the shade Light 130. And I'm just gonna set the rest of my face. This keeps your foundation on all day and blurs out your skin as well. To bronze our skin, I'm going to be using the NYX matte bronzer in medium. A nice glow back to your skin. Adds a nice dimension to your skin as well. I like to bring it in like this to my nose as well. I'm going to be contouring with the NYX contour kit, or the contour, whatever this thing is, the contour palette. Contour my chin, since we got that pregnancy face going on. For blush, I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild Keep It Peachy. It's one of my favorite drugstore ones. And also this super old beaten up Luminoso one from Milani. I need to get me another one because literally it's so old. This gives life back to your skin after being super matte. And I'm just contouring my nose with the same NYX contour kit. My nose, I'm gonna just go in with this, the Fit Me powder. In the color Precious Petals, it is my favorite highlight. So pretty. Just spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus highlight. I feel like highlighting your skin really gives you a youthful glow. A little bit over my eyebrows. I'm also gonna go in with the highlight and highlight my nose. Also gonna highlight my brow bone. Setting sprays. Setting sprays to me are super important, especially in the summer months, humid weather, to keep your makeup on all day. Is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This one I know is a holy grail. It does its job. It keeps your makeup on all day. It will not budge. If you're super oily, I recommend the Kat Von D Lock-It one. This one works amazing for oily skin. It keeps your makeup on all day. This is something as well that I wouldn't go cheap on or whatever. Get a good setting spray. It will really make the difference. Now I'm just gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished product. I just went ahead and finished my eyes. I kept it very simple. I just did a little bit of bronzer on my eyes with an eyeliner. Today's lip color, I did stay with drugstore as well. I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte and Be My Baby. It's just a really pretty simple nude color. It's a very soft matte, so it doesn't feel ugly on the lips. I know this makeup is going to last. I hope you guys try it out, and if you do, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.